Hi guys, Brenna here. Today we are test driving a 2016 Mercedes-Benz CLA250. So here we go. Okay, so we are pulling out of the dealership here. And this thing has some pickup. So this Mercedes is all-wheel drive and has a turbo 4-cylinder engine, which gives it better gas mileage for you. You'll notice, just as Adam kind of pans across the vehicle, that this is very high class, very clean. I was going to say something else and then I didn't. So one thing you will notice is that instead of having your gear selector in the center console like usual, you have a lever here on the side for it. Okay, so you'll also notice that the center console screen up here is protruding a little bit. This is not a touch screen. The way that you're going to navigate through this screen is with this knob right here. You'll also notice that the climate vents have an interesting look to them, and you just turn them left to right to turn them on and off. You'll also notice on the side here that you have 3 seat memory settings, which is interesting because most of the time you only have 2. The ride feels pretty smooth for a smaller vehicle. That's all I have to say about that. The brakes are super sensitive. So I am used to driving a Chevy Cruze, and compared to that, this drives definitely like a sporty car for sure. We are turning around here. The wheel is super responsive. You know, you can kind of notice as I'm turning and out the windows and stuff. Yeah, the seats are super comfortable. It does kind of bring you in on the sides, but I think that kind of adds more to the sportiness of it. You'll also notice that the back seats are super similar to Mustang back seats. So they're smaller, but they are comfortable. I do think because I cannot hear the engine, it's making me go faster. So when I accelerate, I'm not really realizing how fast I'm actually going. But I think, once again, that adds to how cool it is and how the sportiness of it is. The wind noise is a little louder, but I think it's because we're closer to the ground. It's just a smaller vehicle in general. So I feel like generally a 2016 model would have a touchscreen, and I've not driven many Mercedes, but I will say, to me, it feels inconvenient to have the buttons because most of the time we're used to the whole touchscreen everything now. So it is somewhat inconvenient to have the buttons and have it all like be so much. It's kind of hard to see and stuff. It'd definitely be something to get used to because there is like all of those. There is so many buttons. That's a telephone. Okay, so that's interesting. Something kind of cool is that there is a telephone pad right here, and I have never seen that in a car. And I feel like I've driven quite a few cars. The blinker is not very loud, so I do really like that. No one likes a loud blinker. So there is a really awkward blind spot literally behind the 2 passenger seats. Like, you literally cannot see anything if a car was coming up next to you. And there's no blind spot indicators. So even though it's a 2016 model, that is kind of interesting that they don't have that. I'm gonna give it some gas. So when you do give it gas just from a standstill, you can hear the engine a little bit. But once again, it's a super smooth ride and it accelerates very nicely. I will say though that as far as your blind spots, the trunk, like the trunk window is in a convenient spot to where you can see out behind you very well. That's interesting. Harman Kardon. All right. We are pulling back in here. I don't know who that was. For was Rob, and I definitely do not think that was Rob, so whoops. Okay. Very interesting when you're using this. I don't even know. You just have to click it. It's weird. But the resolution for this backup camera is insane. Alright guys, thanks for listening to my 2016 Mercedes-Benz CLA250 test drive talk. If you're interested in test driving this vehicle, stop by 1820 Vandalia Street or visit us online at jackschmittford.com.